Yeah, right. Yeah, I planned it that way.
So this was, so now we're going down. So this, we're just hitting the top of your ear right here. This is the level of the top of your ear. So, you know, the area that we always worry about is getting too much radiation to your brainstem, but really we're not. Put on the brainstem. So we really drew out all these different structures on slice by slice using the MRI, and then transferred them over to the CT scan. There are her eyes. We put her eyes left and right. We know the accuracy of the radiation dose within about 1% any place in your brain, and that's proven based on a whole bunch of studies. We actually, every day, we'll check the machines. We'll do a basic check on the machines. Actually, minute by minute, we're monitoring the output, so we know if there's any deviation in that, and that has to be within about plus or minus 3%. And then monthly, yearly, we have all this quality assurance. But in your case, we also do all the things by looking at the images each day and making sure that everything is set up properly. So this, we're starting low, and I'll print you out a couple copies of this so you can, with cool color and everything, so you can see that. So this is slices this way. We like to be able to visualize this, so we'll look at it, slices. This is a slice coming down this way and back.
Wow.
How long does it take somebody to do this? A month?
To do this?
Or did you do this? You got the dosimetry people do
so
it.
I went ahead and drew out everything we wanted to treat.
Maybe the circles,
and I drew everything. And then when the computer, then the dosimetrist would go in there and say, okay, what's the right combination of beams? Typically for something in this area, we would use a set of 5 beams with this sort of general setup, and then the computer will go do all the optimization for opening and closing that to be able to paint that on. If we didn't do that, you'd have much higher doses. These represent different lines of decreasing dose.
Okay.
This would be much bigger. We'd give much more radiation to your brain if we did that, just because we couldn't shape the beam as well as we could to be able to do this.
Brainstem is down low and in the back, right? Or
yeah, here's the brainstem. There's the brainstem that's coming up that I drew out there.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So the brainstem's back there. So we just come right to the edge of the
way.
brainstem when it's there, and then so this is right. So this is far back. Brainstem, it starts in the back but goes down there. There's the spinal cord.
That's amazing.
Oh, okay.
And then if we go toward the front, the other things that we worry about. There's your eyes. We go back from your eyes. Oh, I didn't turn on the optic nerves. We draw out the optic nerves. We draw out the chiasm where the nerves come together. There's the nerves coming back. You sort of visualize how they're going back, and then they join right over here to form the optic chiasm, which is sort of obscured by these radiation beams. Here, let me take the beams off there so you can see the dose distribution a little bit better.
So the machine has that head that moves around, right? From watching your video,
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. So you're lying down there, and we'll position you. We'll bring you up and put you exactly in the right spot. Make sure your head's exactly positioned. By doing all those, fine. You hear the little table, little jerking each time, making sure that it's. We also change the rotation on it, make sure your head's in a proper position, and then the head of the machine will rotate around, and then the table can rotate too. So we'll be able to treat all these different combinations of angles in this, and we can treat you with a precision of about within a half a millimeter.
When you show those intersecting lines, though, were they shot sort of? I don't want to say one at a time, but from one angle at a time, and then it moves and shoots from the other angle?
It shoots from one angle. So what would happen is if we're treating, let's say, this beam right here,
right.
we're shooting a profile on this, but that profile continuously changes. The tungsten leaves that shape it open and close, so you can optimize the dose distribution within that field. And then okay. They're telling me I have to move along at some point. But
I think it's fair.
So within that, it's all computer-based optimization. It's all that neat linear optimization. All the stuff I'm supposed to have learned when I was in engineering school. But and all these different algorithms for being able to get the optimum combination of radiation beams. The only problem is sometimes you can get too fancy, and Larry Marks, who's at UNC, used to be here, always talks about this, about, don't be so fancy that you're missing the tumor. So, I mean, that's a big, but that's right. So you have a real tendency to say, I'll make these fields smaller and smaller and smaller, and then you want to figure, well, I'm not trying to just make the radiation, everything smaller. I want to make sure I'm treating the correct thing in this.
Yeah.
So let me print this
that's
out.
the
Hopefully
balance.
this file.